What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cards and Coffee. On today's episode of Reloaded, we have a lot at stakes. Now, yes, I just came off another win, and honestly, my pulls were probably the best I could ever ask for last set. And I have to be honest, Ricardo looks like he's really looking for something to turn the tides. Now, let's be honest, Dark Crisis has a couple of good cards in it, but it's nothing that's meta-defining or meta-warping. But there are a few key cards in here that if Ricardo gets his hands on them, I could definitely see him trying to play them. But before we get into that, thanks again for tuning in, guys. This really means the world to me. I really appreciate all the people who come out and watch this series. Whether you tune in every Wednesday or you're just catching up from another week, it all means the world to me. Now, why is this week so important? While Dark Crisis really lacks in meta-changing card pool, the reason this week is so important is for two reasons. One, next week is Invasion of Chaos. I'm sure most of you already know, and if you don't, Invasion of Chaos is probably one of Yu-Gi-Oh's most iconic sets in history. A lot of people like to say this is where Yu-Gi-Oh! Took its turn away from the normal summon and focused more on being able to special summon multiple times in a turn. Now again, this is nowhere near the level that we're used to in modern formats today, but a lot of people point to this point in time where the game takes that pivot in that direction. So not only is that in the back of our heads for next week's episode, but the winner of this episode gets to pick who gets what starter deck next episode. Yes, on the release of IOC, two new starter decks also make their debut: Starter Deck Kaiba Revolution and Starter Deck Yugi Revolution. These starter decks are more of a play on the original starter decks that we started this series on, but it includes a couple more modern cards in it, and in addition introduces some new cards that may or may not be playable in our series. But this is a second chance for both me and Ricardo to double up on some staples that we might already have, and also prevent each other from hitting some cards we might be trying to make sure they don't get. So again, Dark Crisis is a great set, but there's nothing really too crazy about it, but the importance of this episode is very critical. So I'm super excited to start this episode. I'm really excited to start cracking open some packs, but before we do that, of course, we gotta spin our wheels. I gotta go hit the winner wheel again. Ricardo's got the loser wheel this week. But first, as always, guys, please go grab yourself a cup of coffee or something. That way you guys can sit down and tune in. Thanks, guys.
Alright guys, so unfortunately Imperial Order is one hell of a card and Ring of Destruction is a beyond busted card. But that's where we're at right now. So back here with the loser wheel. Honestly, this week is pretty rough because Dark Crisis doesn't give a lot to really fix any problems that I'm having against Justin's deck. His drop power is insane, so cards like Yatagarasu and Time Seal don't really do much against him. His power cards like Injection Fairy Lily are pretty rough. Jinzo is obviously a monster by itself. Yatagarasu is an absolute problem for me. He's got a lot of really great power cards. So the question is, how do I build around it? And I don't think the solutions lie in Dark Crisis. And I really don't think they lie in Magician's Force, but let's see what the wheel gives me here. I'm hoping for a Tribe Infecting, but it looks like I'm going to be getting a common. So that's fine. I don't want any of this Union shit. What's my Nekomane lineup look like here? Did I pull a single Nekomane? Oh damn, I don't think I did. I only pulled one Royal Magical Library. Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna go ahead and grab a Royal Magical Library. With my spell lineup, I think it's just the way to go. So Royal Magical Library is now at 2 in my list.
Alright guys, here we are at the winner's wheel. We're just going to spin this real quick, see what we can get, and then move on to Dark Crisis. I'm very excited. There's a couple key cards in there that I would love to get my hands on, so we'll see how luck treats us this week, but I'm super excited. Let's spin the wheel. Oh. Common. Alright guys, we're here, Magician's Force. I gotta pick a common, and honestly, thinking back, I don't think Ricardo's ever hit common on a wheel yet. Maybe it's just my bad luck, but I guess that's just part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you have good days, and sometimes you have bad days. So looking through this, honestly, if I remember correct, I pretty much hit every card on the opening that I wanted in common. Oh, Kaiser Coliseum was something I only got one of. Again, this isn't something that I'd really use, so I don't know if I would need it or not, but there are times in the future where this card is actually very easy to abuse, so doubling up on this actually might not be bad. Let's see what else there is, honestly. I'm drawing a blank. Moving on from here, I got my old Vindictids, Magical Marionette, shout out to Ricardo. Ooh, I forgot all about this. I only hit one Magical Scientist, and I think Ricardo hit like 6 or 7 of them, honestly. Okay, so if I get another Magical Scientist, he really doesn't stick around that long. So unless I plan on using him in multiples before he gets hit, then it really wouldn't make sense for me to grab him. And again, I have the 1, so I'm happy enough that I at least have that. But this card's so powerful, and even though my extra deck really isn't that well equipped for it, I could definitely find a way to abuse it, especially if I had multiples, because then I can rely on drawing it more often. Alright, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I feel like Magical Merchant is definitely on the bottom of the totem pole, just as far as power goes. Kaiser Coliseum is really good, but I would have to cross my fingers for my deck to actually be able to use it in the future. So while Magical Scientist might not be extremely usable right now for me, I think that's the card I'm going to go with. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm locking it in, Magical Scientist as my wheel pick.
So this week we got Dark Crisis, and Dark Crisis is an interesting pack. It's not as bad as Magician's Force was in terms of how bad cards it can be, but Tsukiyomi is by far and away the best card in the set. Sakuretsu Armor is also great. Skill Drain is in this. If I can pull at least 2 of those, I'll be pretty happy. Really, I don't know. The set's lacking a lot because like 90% of it is the Chess Archfiends, and those suck. It's basically Magician's Force again, except instead of the Amazons, we have the Chess Archfiends, and instead of Breaker, we have Tsukiyomi. Luckily, Tsukiyomi is just a rare, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to pull it. But on top of that, I do want to see DD Warrior Lady and Butterfly Dagger Elma, which is it's going to be a hard pull, but if I can get it, then I have some options in deck building. Skill Drain is also going to open up some options, so let's go ahead and see what I get. Here's pack number 1. We're starting off with the Guardian Elma, but no Butterfly Daggers, so what the fuck is the point? Pack number 2, we've got the Butterfly Dagger. Alright, I'm sorry, Elma, we homies. I'm sorry that I insulted you. Alright, so we got 1 Butterfly Dagger Elma. Can I pull more? Pack number 3, we got the Vampire Lord, baby, and a Sakuretsu. All right, so things are looking up. Things are looking up for us.
All right, guys, here we are, Dark Crisis. Again, nothing too crazy, but there's a couple of rares and common cards that I would love to add to the collection. Honestly, I could be wrong about what Ricardo's going to do this week, but depending how Ricardo pulls this week, I have a hunch on what he might try to play. If I happen to pull the cards that I'm thinking about, then I'll mention them in the opening, but I will say Sakuretsu Armor would be a good counter for the strategy that I feel he's going to bring today. So hopefully I can bag some of those. It's common, right? So I'd love to get a play set. I don't have any battle traps. Ricardo has Mirror Force, so I really have my fingers crossed for that one. So here we go. 24 packs, Dark Crisis, and first pack. Okay, this to me looks like a bunch of nothing. Okay, pack 2 with the Skill Drain. I didn't even have to wait that long to talk about it, but this is the card that I think Ricardo is going to fall on this week. He knows the monsters I have in my deck are just full of so much utility and tech card effects that being able to play a playset of Skill Drain alongside all the beaters that Ricardo has accumulated over the series is probably one of his best bets just before getting into IOC. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I had to guess, this is the route Ricardo's going to go this week. I'm glad I have my own, though. Honestly, I love Skill Drain.
Can I get a Tsukiyomi? No, but I got a Gyaku Gaier, and that's the homie. I really can't abuse Gravity Bind with them because of Jinzo, but I would like to. So that's an option. Let's see what we get. Here's pack number 5. Alright, so this is absolute trash. That's cool. Alright, we got Sakuretsu, another Guardian Elma. I don't think I'm going to use her, but I did get the equip. Will the pattern repeat? Will I see another Guardian? No, I won't. No, it's absolute trash. Well, what a waste of time. Alright, here's pack number 8. Skill Drain. Skill Drain, Ojama Trio, and Gyaku. And another Vampire Lord. Oh, another Vampire Lord. Well, we've got options now. The reason I'm so interested in Skill Drain is because I got those Ultimate Obedient Fiends. So, we'll see what happens. I don't think I'm going to play Skill Drain unless I can pull a playset. And I'd have to do some really heavy... Oh, and there's Tsukiyomi, baby. I'm feeling good about this one. Alright, so I got 2 Vampire Lords. I got the Elma. I got Tsukiyomi. I got the False Summon Skull, which is actually pretty interesting because, I mean, now I technically have 2.
All right, second skill drain. It's so funny because I'm so tempted to play it myself, but since I feel like this is the route Ricardo's going to go, I feel like it'd be a waste to play it. It does stop his Cyber Jar, which is amazing. I don't know, maybe I'll just side it or something. I don't know, I'm going to have to think about it. Oh, okay, there we go. The first Sakuretsu armor. Awesome. I hope to get at least one more. Again, like I said, I feel like Ricardo's going to fall on skill drain, so I feel like having battle traps would be really good. It wouldn't shock me if Ricardo's on this card either. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if he just goes super heavy trap control. And honestly, that sounds really scary, especially for what back row removal I have. But I do think a good counter to all those big beefy monsters would be good 1-for-1 removal just like this. Okay, we got an ultra rare Shinato King the Higher Plane. I actually remember playing this card when I was a kid, funny enough, but we're not going to play it in progression, that's for sure. Contact with the Abyss is an interesting ritual spell card. Again, I don't know if I'm going to play it anytime soon, but just being a generic ritual spell for dark monsters is probably one of the more versatile ritual spells of this era. Next pack. Oh, hey. Panda. Okay, so this Panda card, in case you don't know, is actually pretty relevant. There is a Panda beatdown deck in GOAT format, and this card is pretty insane. Basically, the more monsters your opponent has, the bigger he gets. So it's pretty easy to fall back on this card. Plus, it's a giant rat target too. Right now, I just feel like it doesn't have a spot in my deck. And there's the third Ojama trio, so that's pretty cool. And here's Token Thanksgiving. It destroys all tokens, which is hilarious because Ricardo has double scapegoats. But I don't know, it's pretty funny to think about.
All right, here's pack number 11. I've got another Tsukiyomi. Token Thanksgiving is a card that I don't see myself playing, but it's a card that I can see Justin running. So for those that don't know what it is, it's basically a way for Justin to not only get rid of my scapegoats, but to then gain life points for it. I don't think there's any way that he doesn't pull that, so I'm going to have to really build with that in mind. I don't think he'll use it because of how tight deck space is, but I feel like it'll definitely be seeing space in the side. Another Tsukiyomi, baby, we're riding high today, and this DDD, and the Outstanding Dog Marin, good dog. All right, a Sakuretsu armor, Gaiaku. Why was Archfiend Soldier a rare? What a waste.
All right, this is pack 12, so this is the halfway point. Okay, Archfiend Soldier, power creeping Gemini Elf. It's a dark, so it works with Chaos. 1500, so it's still searchable by Witch for the defense at least. And again, 1900, good stats. It's a fiend. Am I gonna play it? Probably not, but if ever I wanted to, there he is. Hey, there we go. Second Sakuretsu armor. I just need one more. Again, I don't even know if I'd play 3, but if I had 3, then I know I'd have the option to play them, so that's why I'm kind of having my fingers crossed for it. But again, I think 2 is probably the perfect number, but hey, if I can get another one, I'd be super happy. All right, pack 17. I still need a third Sakuretsu, and I need a third skill drain still. Okay, I don't need, but I would like at least. Nothing. This card's kind of funny. He gains 200 attack for each fairy monster in your graveyard. I remember my uncle back in the day used to play like some kind of fairy control deck, and he played this card. So honestly, it's super nostalgic for me. Awesome to see this card came out of this set. All right, just a few more packs left. I believe this is pack 19. Again, we're still looking for another skill drain. There's a second Archfiend Soldier. Again, I don't think that's too relevant, but my fingers are still crossed. I still need a third Saku, and I still need a third skill drain, so we'll see how lucky we get in these last few packs. Different Dimension Gate, that's pretty cool. Again, I don't know if I'm going to ever play that, but at least I have it, I guess. Options. Hey, there we go. Third skill drain, and we got another Panda. I think that's only 2, so it'd be nice to have another one. And okay, I didn't know this came in this set. Final Countdown. This card's existence has made some pretty annoying decks. So, did I pull multiples of this? Maybe I need to give Ricardo a taste of his own medicine. I don't know. If I pulled multiples, then maybe, but I don't know. My deck's been pretty good.
All right, so I've got, again, trash. You know, like I'm saying trash, but honestly, I already pulled 2 Vampire Lords. I pulled Tsukiyomis in multiples at this point. The only card I really want to see now is DD Warrior Lady or another skill drain. That'd be cool too. We got, what, 4 packs left here. Another Sakuretsu. Okay, that's cool. Nothing good there. A third Vampire Lord. I feel like at this point I have to play it, you know, like it's just calling to me. All right, here we go. Last pack. I didn't see what that was because I don't like that auto scroll here. All right, so unfortunately, no DD Warrior Lady, but I mean, I can't complain with this. So, normal monsters, absolute shit. Who cares? Madru Grisette. Is that my strongest? Is that my highest level? So I didn't pull any level 8. So, Dark Paladin, I'm sorry, we're still not seeing you. We pulled the Skull Archfiend Lightning, which is a second summon skull. It's pretty shit. I guess, I don't know. We got the 2 Great Madru Grisettes, that's cool. But the Vampire Lord trilogy here is amazing. We also got Mephis, the Infernal General, which is pretty interesting. We do have some hand hate going on now. We got Little Wingard. I just love this card. We got the playset of Tsukiyomi, so that, honestly, that's amazing in itself. Can't go wrong with that. We've got the boy, Gaku Geyer Panda. We've got a ton of good dogs. Spell-wise, we pulled the 1 Elma, so I'm more than happy with that. Pulled a bunch of Final Countdowns, which I hope never see play. I pulled 1 Skill Drain. I would have liked 1 more at least, but okay, it's there. The Ojama Trio is pretty funny. Playset of Sakuretsu Armor is great. I got some ideas here, but right here, I think these Vampire Lords are going to be putting in some work.
All right, there's Drag Down to the Grave. That's actually a common card that I was really hoping to get a bunch of, and I totally forgot about it until, well, now seeing it. Kind of a bummer that I only have the 1, honestly, but it's nice to have 1. Maybe I'll get lucky in the last pack and get 1 more. Here we are, final pack. I believe I only had 2 Sakuretsu Armor, and after seeing the Drag Down, I would love to get 1 more Drag Down, but let's see. Final pack. Oh, that took off. What did I get? Another Final Countdown. Oh boy. Oh, hey, there's another Sasuke Samurai. What does this one do? Once per turn during your main phase, you can pay 800 life points, and if you do, until the end phase, spells and traps cannot be activated. You know what? I remember this card. People were side decking this in something. What was it? Was it Necros? Man, this card's actually pretty spicy. It's basically Cold Wave. Huh. Anyway, let's flip through the card by card. There's a couple cards I needed to double check on. That for sure is at least 2 Final Countdown. Again, I normally wouldn't go that route, especially since how my deck has been great these last few episodes, but it might just be the perfect opportunity to catch Ricardo off guard right now. Like I said, I think he's going to go a skill drain route, so maybe I just go control and try to win with Final Countdown. I don't know, that sounds like it'd be a really long episode, so maybe I wouldn't do that. But all in all, honestly, this set opening was pretty good to me. I got 3 skill drain, I got 2 Sakuretsu armors, wherever those are. I believe I got 2, maybe 3 of the pandas. Again, I don't know if I'd ever play them, but double Final Countdown, that's hilarious. Drag Down to the Grave, I wish I had more, honestly. Oddly enough, that's one that I would have loved to have seen at least 1 more of. Like I said, I think Ricardo's probably going to take a skill drain route this episode, so I'm going to do my best to really wrap my brain around what the heck I can do this week to play around that. Who knows, maybe I might just stick with my deck and just tech it out accordingly, or maybe I'll have to show up this week with something completely different. I don't know. This is an important episode, so I really don't want to make a mistake. Choosing the starter deck for next week's episode is going to be very important, so I would hate to ruin this opportunity and hand it to Ricardo. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap my head around this, and we'll see what I come up with. I'll see you guys at deck building.
All right, guys, so the deck this week is it's more zombie based. So starting things off, once again, we got Jinzo, Magical Marionette. Jinzo, obvious reasons here. Magical Marionette, you know, it put in some work last time, and we now have Gear Freed alongside the Butterfly Dagger Elma, so I can potentially farm spell counters. Pretty situational, but I've got a lot of uses for Butterfly Dagger Elma, so we'll see what works. I'm running 2 Vampire Lord. I can't justify running a 3rd, but I can definitely justify running 2. I've got double Pyramid Turtles, so I'm pretty sure he'll see play. Of course, that's assuming Justin doesn't abuse Raigeki and Dark Hole and all of his nice monster removals, but again, Vampire Lord plays around all those pretty nicely, so hopefully he sees some play. 2 Giant Rats to bring out the Pyramid Turtles, 2 Pyramid Turtles to bring out both the Reaper and the Vampire Lords. Don Zalug, once again coming back. He's proven to be pretty damn good. Witch of the Black Forest, obvious, searches pretty much most of the monsters in the deck. 2 Gear for the Iron Knights because once again I am running Butterfly Dagger Elma, meaning I can farm spell counters. 2 Tsukiyomis, it's pretty damn good. It allows me to get around Jinzo, even if Road Decree's on the field. Book of Moon obviously can't get around Jinzo in that case, so Tsukiyomi is probably a better option. Spirit Monster, so it goes back to my hand. It's protected in that regard. Will it see play? Well, let's find out. Breaker the Magical Warrior, I love this card. It's insane right now. Spirit Reaper down to 1. I like 2, but space-wise I can't really justify it, and Justin has way too many cards that target, so I really can't justify running the second one right now. And if I do get Premature on the field and get the effect to go off, I want to get Vampire Lord out. Woodland Sprite, it's here for the FTK. Sangan, again, searches a lot of the important cards of the deck. 1 Apprentice Magician. I just felt like running 2 was a little too much, and it brings out 1 of 4 monsters, so I feel like that's pretty decent itself. 2 was cool, but I just don't see myself really wanting to do that right now. 2 Old Vindictive, we're down from the 3. I don't know, I just feel like 2 is a better number, especially with Sasuke Samurai running around Justin's deck. 2 Magician of Faith, 3rd is in the side. Again, Sasuke Samurai is a real pain in my ass, so I'm trying to avoid that. Spell lineup, it's pretty much the same as it's always been, except now we're adding Butterfly Dagger Elma to the mix. This card enables FTKs. It allows me to get multiple spell counters, so I just want to see if I can resolve this 1 card. Ideally, I could have gotten 2, but for right now, the 1 is going to have to do. Painful choice, I want to get either Butterfly Dagger Elma or Gear Freeds or my Woodland Sprite into the grave just so I have easier access to them. Magician of Faith can obviously bring back the Butterfly Dagger Elma, and I have multiple ways to get back into Gear Freed or the Woodland Sprite. My Body is a Shield protects me from Dark Hole and Raigeki and Torrential and so many other cards that Justin has. Metamorphosis, it's here for the Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest searches. 2 Solums and 2 Raigeki breaks and a Mirror Force. These are all here to stop Yatagarasu. That is the card I am more afraid of than anything. It is a real pain in my ass. I need to find a way to get around the card. Cliff, just in case I see that Royal Decree hit the field. 3rd Magician of Faith and Spirit Reaper. Again, I can't really justify them in the main deck right now, but they're there in the side deck. Remove Trap and Dispel. I just need extra back row hate just in case. 2 Offerings of the Doomed. Once again, I gotta get rid of Yata. Tributes to the Doomed, it's just monster removal at this point. Triple Fissure, again, monster removal. I needed card destruction. Yatagarasu is a pain in my ass. This is one way to get around it. Of course, the problem is that I have to hard draw into it. It also helps that Justin likes to speed through his deck with the Thunder Dragons and the Pot of Greeds and the Graceful Charities. So having a card that can essentially erase all of that is pretty nice to have. 1 Trap Dust Shoot. I want it in the main deck, but Jinzo's running around, so it's already hard enough to justify 5 traps in the main deck, let alone the 6th. And 2 Scapegoats, because it's just a damn good card to stall. But I'm worried about running it because, once again, Royal Decree is a huge pain in my ass. Extra deck, we got Cherubin here for Sangan. We've got Carb Warrior here for Witch of the Black Forest. We've got Dark Balter here for both the Vampire Lord and the Magical Marionette, and Dark Paladin. I haven't had a reason to run them yet, but I will hopefully get a level 8 soon. It's going to be interesting because my deck has been upgraded. I can use the zombies now in a much more meaningful manner. I pulled double Tsukiyomis, Butterfly Emerald. I have options. It's just a matter of whether or not I'm going to be able to play those options. So hopefully Justin doesn't pull off some Yata log bullshit, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to this one. It's a big one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Wise words that have been passed down probably since the beginning of time. Now, we did change a couple things about this list, but honestly, this deck is pretty much the same deck as last week. So I'm not going to explain too many things, honestly, but I will explain some of the ratios and why I changed what I changed. So right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and say it. The one thing I'm scared of the most this week is skill drain. I think there's a bunch of different routes Ricardo could take this week, but of all the routes that I could just straight up auto lose to, skill drain is definitely the one that scares me the most. Honestly, a lot of my monsters are pretty puny, and skill drain being face up on the field, turning off all their utility effects would honestly put a really big hindrance on my plays. If it wasn't for the fact that I thought Ricardo was going to be on skill drain this week, I would probably try to play it myself, but again, I feel like Ricardo's the one that needs to make the changes, so it wouldn't really make sense for me to show up with skill drain if I expected him to do it. So again, really quick, Jinzo, obviously really good. If skill drain's already face up on the field, then it's not going to matter if I tribute summon for him. But if I can get him out early, that could be a really big deal in that matchup. 3 Thunder Dragons. Every time I draw this card, it is very great. Sometimes it just sits in my hand for a while, but in the end, deck thinning a bunch just so I'm more likely to hit my power cards is what this deck is all about. Again, I'm horrified of skill drain, so hopefully by thinning the deck with all this draw power and Thunder Dragons, it just makes it to where I'm more likely to draw my out. That way my deck can flourish and keep doing what it's been doing the last couple weeks. I'm on 2 Gravekeeper Spy this week. Again, I expect skill drain. This card's really good. Even with skill drain up, it's at least a 2k defender, but I would imagine if Ricardo's on skill drain, he's probably playing the 21 beaters and the 22 beaters. So we'll see how well it plays out. Again, it's a really easy side out if that's the route he did go. Still playing the same searchers, the Sangan and the Witch with the Tomato. Obviously all really good, and they still work under skill drain. Breaker and Tribe Infecting Virus. I didn't get to use Tribe last week, so maybe I'll get to use it this week. We'll see how it goes, but again, both these cards on paper are really amazing. After that, again, 1 Magician of Faith just to recycle my spells, and I put Nidoria back in the main deck. Again, something that's searchable off Witch and Sangan, and something I can float into off a Tomato. Just being good monster removal that actually works under skill drain, I think could be very relevant. And then after that, all the little tiny guys that put in a lot of work. We got the Sasuke Samurai. This card was amazing last week. Again, Injection Fairy Lily, an amazing card to get over beaters, but again, if skill drains up, it's useless, so we'll see how it goes. And of course, Yatagarasu. I was this close to putting it in the side because again, I'm just so afraid to see what Ricardo's playing. But again, my logic is with all my draw power and all my deck thinning, hopefully I can hit something like my Mystical Space Typhoon or my Raigeki Break to help me out the skill drain, and then I can at least play the deck as it was designed to do. After the monsters, the draw power, Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Mirage of Nightmare, which we have yet to resolve, and I put Upstart Goblin back in the deck. Took me a little while to find things to cut for it, but again, just another deck thinner to help me dig for MST or Raigeki Break. That way I can out the skill drain. After that, got Delinquent Duo and Confiscation, Raigeki Dark Hold, Change of Heart and Snatch Steal, Monster Reborn and Premature, Book of Moon. It's actually one of the ways I can play around skill drain as well. Just being able to activate something like Tribe Infecting Virus and then chain Book of Moon to set it and let it resolve. I don't know if it'll come up, but the more options, the better. And the last spell card, MST, obviously just back row removal. Again, we're horrified of skill drain this week. I am playing a little heavier trap lineup this week. Again, triple Raigeki Break. I don't think this number is correct, at least from a ratio standpoint, but I am that afraid of skill drain game 1 that I felt like I had to max out the opportunities I would have to out it. After that, just some of the generic stuff. Torrential Tribute should be amazing against a skill drain deck. Ring of Destruction, again, more monster removal. I just think monster removal in general is going to be very key, especially since my guys are all so tiny. After that, Solemn Judgment and Imperial Order, the 2 old men that say no, Call of the Haunted, and the new edition Sakuretsu Armor. I decided to squeeze this in because again, I think he's going to be on a bunch of beaters, and I also figure if he's not, the chances are he's still on Spirit Reaper at least. So if he's trying to swing in there and try to rip cards out of my hand, I mean, at least it's something to stop that. Again, it's bad against Jinzo, but I just don't know if he's going to go that route this week. Moving on to the side, there's some pretty drastic changes. I got the Spiritualism in here. Again, it's the second best removal. It'll bounce skill drain to at least let me play for a turn. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's there. I put the Knock and the Creature Swap in the side. Again, these are really great cards, but I just don't know what he's going to be on this week. After that, I have 1 Swords of Revealing Light. Again, just to stall. If he's putting a bunch of beaters on the board, this will at least buy me 3 turns to hopefully dig for the out to the skill drain. After that, I have 1 Fisher, and then funny enough, I'm on 3 Remove Trap. Again, I'm horrified of skill drain, so having 3 cards that just out it, as cringy as it is, this card is going to be sided in at 3 if I see a skill drain flipped on me. 100%. After that, I do have 3 Giant Orc. Again, if I notice he's playing the skill drain, I'm going to want beaters as an option for my deck as well. After that, I do have the second Sakuretsu Armor, and of course, triple Trap Death Shoot. Again, we haven't had the chance to sight into this, and I see this being pretty relevant. Just being able to rip monsters out of his hand is going to be super clutch, especially if he has skill drain and he's got big monsters to start throwing at me. Once again, the extra deck is irrelevant. Even though I got the second Magical Scientist this week, I still did not go that route. I'm just too horrified of skill drain, to be honest. I didn't want to change things up too much because this week is super important. The winner gets to pick the starter deck, so I really want to bring my A game, and I really want to prepare for what I truly think Ricardo's going to bring. Again, if he doesn't bring Skill Drain, I think this deck is good enough to go up against whatever he brings out. All right, guys, I'm going to hit up Ricardo, and we're going to hash this out. This is a big episode, especially next week being IOC. It's a lot of pressure, man. I hope you guys are ready because it's time to duel. Ricardo, my guy, what's up, dude? How you been?
Still reeling from the fact that I'm on a 4-game losing streak here. I hate Yatagarasu.
Oh, man. You know, I didn't even think about that. That is 4 games, huh?
Yeah, the hat trick and now the reset. But crazy. I think I'm going to be okay. I pulled pretty nicely.
Yeah?
Not going to lie. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Because honestly, there's a few cards in this set that are like really good, but most of it was just low rarity stuff. So it was kind of weird for me in my opening. Like, I had a list of cards coming into it where I was like, it would be nice to pull these, but whether I pull them or not, it doesn't really change too much for me. You know what I mean? But yeah. I don't know how you felt.
Yeah, I had a bunch of options after this pool, so I'm pretty excited to see where this one goes.
Yeah, and this is a very important episode. Obviously, the winner gets to choose between starter deck Kaiba or starter deck Yugi Revolution. I don't want to give up which one I've been eyeing, but I have to admit, no matter what starter I get at the end of the day, there is something in each one that I would be very happy to add to the collection. But I do know if I do have to pick, it's going to be really tough.
Both decks have some pretty nice things, but I got to ask myself, do I want to help myself or do I want to hinder you and not give you the options of what I would miss out on the other deck?
That's so funny, man, because I mentioned it earlier as well in the video where I could definitely see Ricardo grabbing some cards that would help his deck, but also there's the option of keeping me off of specific cards.
Yep.
And that's kind of what worries me the most, honestly. But either way, I'm super ready for this episode. You ready for the rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, here we go. What hasn't disappointed me yet?
Yes.
Damn it.
You know, it's funny you mentioned what hasn't disappointed me, and it got me thinking. I'm like, I wonder what has he not lost on. But all right, going first, I think it's going to be actually very important this episode. I could be wrong, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to start the turn by drawing.
Yep.
And all right, we're going to start this off by entering main phase 1. And I'm going to do something that I've been doing pretty frequently the last few duels, and that is activating the effect of Thunder Dragon to search 2 more Thunder Dragons.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. After that, I am going to activate the spell Upstart Goblin.
No problem. 1,000 free for me.
Ooh. And Upstart just helped me dig for an amazing card, Pot of Greed.
What the fuck?
This deck is too fast, bro. Too fast. And, let's see. You know what? Hell with it. I'm going to start off with Delinquent Duo, paying 1,000 life points to randomly hit a card out of your hand. And in this case, I'm going to go with this one.
Damn, that one does hurt.
Jinzo. Okay. All right, you got to discard one more then, bud.
I might regret that later, but it's got to be this one.
Ooh, Mystical Space Typhoon. All right, I think now after that, I think I'm just going to set a card, and I'm going to pass the turn.
All right. Opening draw. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give away what I am playing here, but I'll normal summon Pyramid Turtle.
Ooh, okay. Back on the zombies, huh? Okay.
Let's go to battle and poke for 12k.
On attack declaration, I actually feel like I might respond to that. Thinking real quick. Yeah, you know what? On attack declaration, I'm going to activate Ring of Destruction, burning us both for 1,200.
All right, then I'm going to have to end my turn there.
No way. You just end, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. Main phase 1. Normal summon Yatagarasu.
Yeah, that's fine.
Battle phase poke. Oh, so good. All right, I'm going to set a card face down, and then end phase. The bird comes back to him.
All right, here we go. I normal summon another pyramid turtle.
Okay, normal summon is good.
All right, battle phase. Poke
Yes,
for
sir.
12k.
I will take the 1200 gladly.
And I'll pass on that.
All right, starting turn. I am going to activate my face down card, Dark Hole.
Tragic.
And then, of course, normal summon Yatagarasu.
Yeah.
And we're going to poke again. Main phase 2, I'll set a card again. And end phase, the bird flies back home.
All right. I'm going to set one monster, and I'll pass.
All right, starting turn. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Oh, I feel scummy. Oh, I top decked Raigeki.
That's fine. Witch of the Black Forest.
All right, what are you gonna search, bud?
I'm gonna go ahead and grab Spirit Reaper.
Yep, that does help you. All right, well, obviously I'm gonna still normal summon the bird. I'm gonna poke for 200. Keep you off drawing at least for one more turn. And then end phase, the bird will go back to him.
All right. I'm gonna normal summon Spirit Reaper.
Normal summon is good.
And I will poke for 300.
Yep, I will take the 3.
All right. Spirit Reaper effect.
Uh-huh.
All right. I don't have a dice on me, so I just got to go for it.
Ooh, okay, you hit one of my Thunder Dragons.
Damn. All right, I'll pass on that.
All right, starting turn. Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry, Ricardo. Again, so sacky off the top. I drew a card that targets. Sorry, bud.
Oh, my God. You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, I feel scummy for that one. Not gonna lie. Normal summon the bird. And we'll poke again for another 200. And then end phase, back to you.
Normal summon Woodland Sprite.
Oh, God. Does that mean you got Butterfly Dagger?
Yep.
Oh, man.
All right. So Sprite pokes for 900.
All right, I'm going to take the 9.
And I'll pass on that.
Alrighty, starting turn. Okay, so I'm going to normal summon the bird. And I'm going to pay 8 to feel great. And we're going to bring back Thunder Dragon.
All right, well, that'll be it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, man. Game 2. Game 1 was, well, pretty luck-sacky. I'm sorry, but I feel grimy for that one, honestly. Top decking outs after outs. Ugh, my bad.
All right. Opening draw. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and once again normal summon the Pyramid Turtle.
Okay.
I will set one and I'll pass on that.
All right. Starting turn. Oh, jeez. This is oh, God. Okay. Activating Thunder Dragon's effect.
Yeah.
Gather in the homies. Then Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then Graceful Charity.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I got a fresh hand of 8 cards now. Surprisingly enough, I think all I'm going to do, even after drawing all those cards, is just set a monster with 2 back row. That's going to be it for me.
All right, here we go. Draw. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and set one card. Activate Change of Heart.
That's good. I'm going to activate Imperial Order in response to Change of Heart. You got
I will
Solemn
activate
Judgment.
Solemn
Oh, he's
Judgment.
got it. Oh, man. That's crazy. All right. Half the life points for one card.
This better have been worth it.
Well, all right. You let me know. Is it worth it?
I'm going to go ahead and flip summon the guard. Nothing on your
Alright.
field, so nothing can be done about that.
Right.
Then I'm going to set one card face down and activate Card Destruction.
Oh, God.
So
My
I'll
hand is
discard
so
my one card.
good.
Butterfly Dagger to the grave.
All right, yeah, I got no response to that. Damn. So from me, you're gonna get Mirage of Nightmare, Gravekeeper Spy, your favorite
tight.
Sasuke Samurai, Jinzo,
Bless.
and Monster
Damn.
Reborn.
What a blessed turn this has become.
Yeah, the
All
tides are
So
definitely
I will
turning.
draw one,
I'm gonna draw 5.
and then I'll go to battle and poke for 22.
All right, the only saving grace I have is the fact that I still have 5 in hand, and in addition, you know, you paid half your life, so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. Standby phase, main phase, anything?
You're good.
All right. Whew. Kind of feeling the pressure, honestly. I'm trying to win me a starter deck. All right, I'm going to start the turn with a little more draw power, Upstart Goblin.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I need all the life points I can get right now.
Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the spell card Premature Burial, and I'm going to pay 800 life points and target my Sasuke Samurai in the graveyard.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, Samurai will hit the field. And before I enter battle, I'm going to change this guard to defense. And then I'm going to attack your set monster.
I will activate Offerings to the Doomed.
Okay. So this
and
will go to the
I will
grave.
target the Samurai. And I will skip my next draw phase.
All right, and then main phase 2, I'm going to set a monster. And then I'm going to set 2 more back row.
Okay. Alright, I'm going to go to battle.
All right.
And I'm going to have Pyramid Turtle attack this face down.
All right, I'm going to activate my new trap card, Sakuretsu Armor, and destroy the Pyramid Turtle.
Damn. Alright, main phase 2. I am going to pay 800 life points.
Ooh. What's your target?
Pyramid Turtle.
Well, okay. Normally, I would not do this. But just because I feel like this is one of the only ways that you stay in the game, I think what I'm going to do is activate Raigeki Break in response and discard the Sangan to destroy Premature Burial.
Okay. I will flip summon Magician of Faith.
Ooh, I had it on Spirit Reaper. Okay, thinking here real quick. I think I'm going to do it, honestly, and I think it wins me the game. I'm going to pay 2,500 to negate the summon
Oh my god.
of Magician of Faith.
That's going to have to end my turn. Ugh.
All right, starting turn now. Again, I thought that was a Reaper, so I was trying to protect my Faith here to add Monster Reborn back to get my Sasuke Samurai back, but your field's empty now, so I really don't need to do that. Yeah, in this case, I'm just going to add Monster Reborn back to my hand, activate the Reborn to bring back Jinzo to the field, change the guard to attack mode, and then I'm going to normal summon Injection Fairy Lily and go to the battle and swing with everything for game. Good game, bud.
Nah, fuck you. That was bullshit. I'm mad about game 1.
Oh man. man. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, game 1 was completely garbage. I'm sorry, bud.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at this deck here. Not much is new, but what is new is pretty important. So
Okay.
I pulled the best spirit,
Nice.
but more importantly, I pulled 3 of this fucker.
What? 3 Tsukiyomi or 3 Vampire Lord?
3 Vampire Lords.
3 secret rares? Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Did you play all 3 or just like 1 or 2?
2 in the main deck, 1 just didn't make the cut.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You know, it's funny. I was looking at this set earlier, and Vampire Lord's at the top of the list. So it kind of crossed my mind that you might go zombies if you pulled it. But then I know we were talking Skill Drain before, and honestly, Skill Drain's a pretty good card against my deck if I don't draw like Raigeki Break or MST.
I only pulled the 1, so I couldn't justify it.
Okay, well, here's what's crazy about my deck. Okay, so I didn't pull a single Tsukiyomi at all. A matter of fact, no cards in this main deck are from the new set at all.
So it's just your old deck, basically.
This is basically old deck, except for I changed a couple things in preparation for what I thought you might be on. I legitimately thought that you were probably going to bring some kind of skill drain deck, because I felt like if you didn't bring a skill drain deck, then my normal deck would be able to compete. Whereas if I didn't prepare for the skill drain deck, then I could get caught with my pants down and then you just auto lose to something like skill drain. So to prepare for it, I put Midoriya back in the main deck because that's a destruction effect that will resolve under skill drain. In addition, I actually main decked the 3 Raigeki Break this time around, even though 2 is probably the perfect number, but I only have the 1 MST to out skill drain. But I was just so worried about like auto losing to it that instead, here's Nobleman of Crossout, but this was actually sided this time around because again, I didn't know what route you were going to take, so I figured that by getting rid of this monster removal, it kind of balanced out with adding the Raigeki Break, you know what I mean? I played only 2 Spy this time around, if I remember correctly. The Sakuretsu armor, I only main decked 1. I don't know how many you pulled, but I pulled 2. Did you get a couple of them or no?
I think I pulled the set.
Nice. So this,
but I didn't play them because of Jinzo.
Yeah. So again, like what I honestly thought you were gonna do this week was show up with 3 skill drain and 3 Sakuretsu armor, and then like all the beaters from the past. So in my head, I thought you were just gonna play a bunch of trap cards, and I was almost tempted to even main deck my body as a shield, because I just thought you were gonna be on Sakuretsu and all these 1-for-1 cards, your Mirror Forces, Raigeki, Dark Hole. And I thought maybe you would still play like some of your power flips like Cyberjar or maybe Magician of Faith or something like that, like just in case you didn't have skill drain up, because I knew you'd still play your Sangan and your Witch. But yeah, I was just so worried about skill drain this game that I decided to like play the same deck because it's already really fast and consistent at digging for cards. But instead of playing all these other tech cards for your deck from like your past decks, I just added more text to counter skill drain. That way I'm more likely to see it when I'm doing all these draws. And that way I can at least still play the game if you are on that deck.
All right, so I guess the question is, what deck are you picking?
I actually... Oh, man. Okay, give me a second here. I really got to think about this because I've been thinking about it all day. So my first impression was honestly looking at Kaiba, because it does have another Mystic Tomato, and I really love Mystic Tomato right now, being able to get me stuff like my Searchers or my Midoriya, and I think that's pretty important now and probably for the next few sets, to be honestly. Actually, probably for a while, even during Synchro era. So having another Tomato would just make my deck even more consistent, which I already really like. I'd also be able to get Soul Exchange, which I don't have, because I missed that in the Yugi starter deck. It comes with Premature Burial, but I already have that. You do too. But the one thing that stood out to me was a second Nobleman of Crossout for myself. So not only would I have more counters to your flip effect monsters and all these floaters you've been on, but it would prevent you from getting it. Because I'm not going to lie, the last few episodes, being able to just set my monsters knowing the worst thing that could happen is Raigeki Dark Hole, has been really nice, because I would know that if you really wanted to out a flip effect monster or like a floater, you would have to waste a power card to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just like some generic stuff like Jar Greed. There's like a Megamorph and some of the other staples we've, already had. But those were like the big ones. Was more about keeping you off knock and then adding some more consistency to my deck. Also while gaining Soul Exchange. But then when I look at the Yugi deck, I would get another Giant Rat, which is similar to Mystic Tomato. But again, Tomato's better in my eyes. I think we both can agree on that. But in addition, I would get reliable Last Will and Card Destruction. 2 cards that, again, have eluded me because they were in your starter deck. And honestly, Card Destruction, I'm kind of 50-50 on. Like, there's definitely going to be times where I think that card's insane. Like, even in, like, when we get to, like, 2013 with Dragon Ruler format, or there's just so many ways to abuse that card in the future. But Last Will, this is going to be my last chance at Last Will. If I pass it up, the only other way I get it is if I get hat-tricked before this year ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that kind of worries me. In addition, it also comes with like another 7 tools and another Magic Jammer. I technically would get a second Swords of Revealing Light, which is cool, but I don't know if I'd ever really need that. Another thing in my eye that stands out a lot is it would be a second copy of Mystical Space Typhoon. So honestly, having the Mystical Space Typhoon would be nice for the next few episodes because I'd be able to run multiples of it. But again, eventually it's going to go to 1, so then I'd be waiting for a little while before I can start using it in multiples again. So I don't know. I'm honestly super torn. Honestly, I feel like if I pass up on Last Will, that I'm going to seriously regret it. So I think going forward, I'm going to choose the Yugi starter deck for the next episode, and hopefully I don't regret it. Hopefully I don't get punished by knock from you. But yeah, Yugi starter deck is what I'm going to add to the collection. And what do you think about the Kaiba deck?
I don't care for it. Invasion of Chaos is next. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, next episode is going to be insane. This is like the most pivotal point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it starts to get away from the normal summon and actually brings special summoning to the game in a very relevant way.
Yeah, that's all I've been thinking about for the past couple weeks is just when do we get to Invasion of Chaos? I think next week is going to just be so completely different from everything that's come before it.
Right. It's going to definitely be a little bit faster.
I'm excited about this. I've been waiting for a long time. It feels good to know that BLS is coming home. I'm calling it right now.
You're calling it? The BLS pull?
Yes.
Man, you pull BLS. It wouldn't shock me, honestly. It's only an ultra rare, right?
Yeah,
BLS is an ultra in
Secrets
Chaos
of
Emperor.
D-Mock and Chaos Emperor.
Well, this week,
D-Mock.
again, another Yada lock. Unfortunately, game 1. I did top deck a couple cards to keep it going. We've been talking back and forth about potentially doing a ban list in a future episode. So we've been thinking that we can have a little fun and have a little back and forth ban list between each other. But we'll give more details on that when it gets closer to time. Game 2, again, a very exciting game. But in all honesty, like you said earlier, I am super excited to start opening IOC. And I'm super glad I got to add some of these cards from the Yugi starter to the collection. I'm a little afraid of Knock, not going to lie. Plus, you got Dust Tornado to out some of my back rows. It's going to be pretty insane next week.
Probably the most excited I've been for an episode in a long time.
Likewise, man. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm super excited for next episode, as I'm sure you all are too. Please like the channel, subscribe. We have an episode coming out every Wednesday. So tune in next week. IOC is going to be insane. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.